go. I've had my tea. Todd's had his coffee. We're a little bit awake. We are going to try to do breakfast this morning. Refrigerators here tend to be small. So this is kind of all of our food that we got last night, just so you guys kind of know. We got a few yogurts. We got some eggs, some butter, cheese, although some of the cheese actually came with the cottage, and some veggies. And it was roughly about 80 pounds. So it wasn't actually too bad. We've had it where it's been quite more expensive than everything here. But basically we got breakfast stuff, some pasta just for one night where we're cooking in. We got a pizza because last night we just did a pizza in the oven because we were so tired. And everything else. And like I said, it was about 80 pounds. The good news is right now the exchange rate is pretty good for us. So we're in pretty good shape. But this is roughly what you're going to get. And we got some, you know, some sparkling water as well too. And some, you know, some juices and stuff like that. And that's what you're going to get. Most of the time, you're going to find that your refrigerator is going to be small. They just don't do big U.S. refrigerators here. So if you go to the grocery store, only buy a few things at a time. Don't buy your big groceries like we do in the United States because they're all not going to fit. So the stoves here usually are flat top stoves. That's usually mostly what I've seen. I rarely see gas stoves over here. But kind of what you see here are looks like we have four. We have four burners here, and each one has how high you go. I don't know what P is versus not, but I'm assuming this is 0 versus not. So typically, be careful of this lock button. I've seen this before where it locks in and you can't open it. Or not open it, you can't turn it on. So I'm going to try this. All right, so it looks like we're on. This one's actually a lot easier than we've had in the past. So I'm going to go with the bigger burner here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it on. And I actually think I'm going to be okay. All right, so a few more tips and tricks in the kitchen, usually with a lot of these European VRBOs. This one actually tends to be the exception to the rule. Usually they don't supply any spices or things like that. So actually, because I didn't see the VRBO, or in this case the cottages, in advance, I went ahead and I bought salt and pepper. Usually, and then what I do is I just take it with us throughout our whole entire trips. They actually did have salt and pepper here. The one things that a lot of Europeans do not have is Ziploc bags. It's not in their repertoire like it is in the United States. So a few things. One, I sometimes will bring them over. I actually forgot to pack them this last round. So I did end up picking up some Ziploc bags. And again, what I'll do is I'll just keep carrying these along our journey just so we have them. But they don't really do Ziploc bags. Tupperware, not so much, and all that sort of stuff. So if you plan on cooking or having leftovers, you may want to pick up some Ziploc bags at the grocery store, or just bring some and throw them in your suitcase as you come along. So again, a lot of these European sort of places that you're staying in, or in the UK or whatever, they don't have big garbage cans, and actually don't even call it garbage. A lot of them call it rubbish here. So you're going to have really small cans. Just be mindful of that. But again, their containers that they have stuff in is not as big as it in the US. So you'll be actually surprised how much you can put in that. But you can always talk to the owner, whoever it is, of where you're going to put your rubbish at and how they divide it up for recycling and everything else too. But don't be surprised when you're trying to look for the garbage can and it's not out. It's usually under the sink because it's always so small. So because a lot of these doors are energy efficient and everything else, they're super, super tight. So how do you unlock or lock a door here? Because they're a little bit different. So here, right now, it's unlocked and you can come out. But here, when you think you're going to close it and you're going to lock it, nothing happens. So a lot of them here, as it's open, and if you try to lock it, it goes here, but it's still open. So what you got to do is you got to push up the handle, turn the key, and now you're locked. So the key sometimes is, if you can't get it to lock with the key, push up on the handle. Normally that will lock it into place, and then turn the key to lock it. Again, this one seems to be the exception to the rule. A lot of these places that we stay in do not have dishwashers. This one happens to have one, so let's just figure out how to use it. It's pretty small, but that's okay. I don't think, you know, you're gonna do pretty small, and that's okay. I don't think you would be doing a lot of pots and pans there. You can kind of do those sort of manually, but it does have, you know, your normal racks here. So I usually supply a handful of these little pods as well, so that's normal. We can do that. All right, so let's see what this is saying. So, well, we know that this is power. Okay, power's not working, which means, oh, there it is. Okay, power's working. I don't know what the P means. I'm gonna go with, I'm okay with that. So it looks like Echo, which I think is more rapid. They have one for pots and pans, which is 65. So keep in mind, this is Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So that's gonna be super hot plates and a timer that will go off later, and then just a wash or half one. I usually stick with Echo on a lot of these. I think it seems to work, and maybe what I have to do is press the P to get it going. Oh, no, okay, so the P is program. So if you press the P, that will get you to where you're at. I just press a lot of buttons to figure out which one works, and it tends to get me to where I'm gonna be at or close enough. So it looks like it's good. This is turned on, the P, so if I push it in, I'll see if it works. Let me see if it works. Oh, I hear a beep. Oh, and it turned on. Voila.